What is going on, guys? We are coming back at you with another Google Sheets stock tracker. This time we are going beyond Google Sheets and sending email notifications when we hit buys or sells. And I take no credit from this. This is from my boy Torin. He reached out to me through email, sent me his tracker. He wanted to share this with everyone. Guys, this tracker is absolutely incredible. I think it's very cool. It's going to help a lot of people, and that's all Torin wants. He just wants to be able to help everyone else. And guys, this is going to be such a time saver. Very cool tracker. He made it super efficient, so it's not going to be that hard to create this. But this is pretty much what we got. If we jump over to my email, we could see right here, here's the notification. So if we look, we have a buy for NVIDIA, sell for Shopify, and then a sell for PayPal. If it says hold, you're not going to get an email just to hold. But here we go. We jump into PayPal. It says right here, it is hit a target sell. PayPal Holdings Inc. PYPL is currently at $302.97 and has passed your target sell of $300. PayPal is above your target sell by $2.97. And then let's go. Shopify is going to say pretty much the same thing, just with its numbers. And then this is what the buy looks like. So it's at $820, hit your target buy of $830, and is now trading below your target buy by $9.50. So super effective tracker. Very cool how you get emails. I had to rerun the code, so it's sent to me right before I shot the video. But pretty much you could set a trigger, which we learned in one of the previous videos. You set a trigger for whatever time. So I set it around 8 a.m. So I'll get all of these emails right before, really right before the pre-marker, or before I'm going to look at my computer, and I'll already have the email, so I'll know exactly what to look for. And this is great if you have a very long list. You wake up in the morning, boom, there's the emails of what to buy, what to sell, or whatever the case may be. So we're going to walk through this step by step to show you exactly how to create it. Again, huge shout out to Torin. Absolutely amazing tracker, and everyone's going to get a massive benefit from creating this. So unlike my other videos recently, we're not going to start with the code. We're going to start with all of the functions. I'm going to save the code for last. So just to do this, I'm just going to write think stocks price alerts. Name this whatever you want. And then what we want to do is have ticker, sign that's going to be buy, sell, or hold, price, percent change, and then if you want the 52-week low, 52-week high, target buy, and target sell. The important things to have on here is your sign, which let's spell that right. You want your ticker, sign, price, target buy, and target sell. You don't necessarily need the change, the 52-week high or low, but that's some good stuff to look at. So we'll just do some quick formatting here. We're going to make this that dark blue I always use. Make the text white. We'll bold it. I don't know, maybe 18. Put that in the center. We'll change the color. We'll keep it white. We can make it orange. And then all of this, same deal. We're going to make it, the text is going to be white. This is going to be that dark blue. We will not merge. We will center it, bold it. And last thing is I want to put a border. So border this, make it thick. There we go. So we have that set up. That's that's the easy part. We'll make that bigger. There we go. That's the easy part. Now what we need to do, let's make that 11, is start to add our tickers. So I'll add what I had. NVIDIA, or you know what? I'll add different tickers now. We'll do Target, Square, how about Microsoft, Facebook, and I don't know, how about Coca-Cola? There we go. So we got all of that. Now the sign, it's going to be a code, which we're going to hold off on that. We're going to do the easy stuff first. So the first thing, we're going to go over to price, and we should all know this. We're going to do an if is blank, A3, because that's the cell that our tickers are in, comma, parenthesis, parenthesis, quotation, quotation, not parenthesis, parenthesis, quotation, quotation, comma, Google finance right there, A3 again, and then close that, hit enter. It's loading. There we go. Price for those of you, and then just take this, drag it down. For those of you who don't know, we do the is blank for the cells that are blank, like these down here, so we don't get an error message. And then when it's not blank, it's going to do the Google Finance function of the ticker, which just pulls the price. So there we go. Pretty simple. Next one is going to be change, which is going to be almost as simple. We actually get to copy all of that, paste it into here, and then after the A3, we want to then hit comma, open quotations, change PCT, close quotations, go on the outside of that parenthesis, do divided by 100, hit enter, loading, boom, and let's just fix the font, because sometimes it'll change the font, default 10, there we go. And we'll take this, drag it down, all of that loads, we'll make it percentage-wise, and there. So again, another easy function. This is just getting our change percent, if you guys don't know how to do that already. And then 52-week low and high is pretty much going to be the exact same thing. We get to copy all of that, Control V, paste that, but then we get to delete the 100. And then inside this, instead of change percent, we're going to want low 52, hit enter, there we go. Again, we'll make that the default 10, drag that down. So now all of that gets filled. Copy this, paste it into here. And instead of low, now we want high, hit enter, loading, drag that down. There we go. So pretty much done with that, nice and easy. Target buy and target sell. This is no function. This is actually you putting in what you want your target buys and sells to be. So let's see, for target, we'll say my target buy is 250 and sell is 300. This isn't financial advice. This is just me using examples. Square, let's say my target buy was 245. So that means I'm already in the buy zone, okay? And my sell is also 300. Microsoft, let's say my target buy was 200 and my target sell was 265. So that means I'm now in the sell zone of Microsoft. And Facebook, we will do, let's see, how about 340 by, I don't know, 400, and then Coca-Cola 50, and then our target sell is, I don't know, 67. All right, so now that we have all of that, we could go back to sign and then create our sign. This is going to be our first longer function, but it's not going to be terrible. So this is what we want. The equals, if is blank, just like always. So if is blank, make sure everything's spelt right. A3, so we're going to click on A3, close that, comma, quotation, quotation, comma. If is blank again, is blank, G3, so all the way over here, comma, quotation, quotation, comma, if is blank again, H3, comma, quotation, quotation, comma, here we go, if, open parentheses, C3, I can't click on C3 because the function is in the way, so I'm just going to type it out, C3 is greater than or equal to H3, so over here, comma, quotation, sell, close quotation, comma. So that means if C3, the current price, is greater than our sell price, it's going to say sell. If, parenthesis, C3, I'm going to type in C3 again, is less than or equal to H3, going to type it in because the function's in the way, not H3, G3, so G3, comma, quotation, by, close quotation, comma, then the last port, hold, if you're a crypto trader, hodl, I like using hodl instead of hold, then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 closes, hit enter, and look at that, autofill, yes, let's do that. and everything seems to line up. We are holding or hodling Target, Facebook, and Coca-Cola. And then here were the two that we set outside the price range for our target buy and target sell. So buy and sell. So that works. That's great. How do we make it nice and colorful? Well, that's easy. Let's highlight all of this. Go to conditional formatting and then do if text is exactly. Formula buy. We want it green. So there we go. That's already set. Great. Hit done. Add another rule. If text is exactly sell, we then want it red. So I'll make it that red. Hit done. Add another rule. If text is exactly hold for the normal stock people, hodl if you enjoy crypto, we then want it orange. Hit done. Boom, there we go. We could X out of that. So now that is all set for the colors. And then if you want, highlight all of this, right click, go to conditional formatting again, add another rule. If it's not empty, make it blue, hit done. There we go. So now when we add another ticker, so say we add, I don't know why I can't think of any tickers right now, PayPal, you see that, it'll do that. You see how this is blank? Because we didn't put in our target buy or sell. So it doesn't know if we hold, sell, or buy. So then if we add that in, how about 300 and 400, it'll say hold. Or let's say 320 was our buy. Now it's below it. It says buy. Or let's go back to 300. Let's go to 250 and we make our sell 300. It would say sell. So pretty simple right there. We delete that. We could delete those. We'll just stick with these 5 that we have. And then if you want, I also had the change. I made it color as well. You could see back over here how this is colored. If you want to do that, go crazy. I'm not going to do that just to save time. But now we're going to go down here and hit rename. We're going to name this watch list. Okay. And now we're going to make a new sheet. And this new sheet rename is going to be back end. So this is our back end. Everything is done with the first one. So now for the back end, here's what we're going to want. We're going to want ticker, sign, current price, target buy. And guys, it is important to have this in, it's important with which cells they're in. You will see what I mean. So make sure this is exactly the same, or the code that we're going to be creating soon may not work properly. This is going to be target cell. This is going to be difference buy. This will be difference cell. This will be message attachment. This one will be email required. This one will be email sent with a question mark. And then we will have subject and message. All right, so after we have all of those, we're going to start with the easy stuff. And that is going to be our ticker. I'm going to start over here. And if you want, go ahead, make this a different color. So we'll make this we'll make the text white, this dark blue, bold it, just so we know that, you know, this is obviously separate from what we're going to have below, which will actually have functions. You could spread this stuff out if you want. Message attachment is going to be kind of long. These will be normal height. Your subject will be a little long. So if you want to bring that out, your message is going to be pretty long. So there, if you want to do that, that's pretty good. If you want to center it all, there we go. Now we could start adding in some stuff. So first we need to pull the ticker from our watch list. Very simple. It's equals, jump back over to watch list and hit that, hit enter, boom, that's it. And just drag this down. So you can see it says watch list exclamation point A3. That's how we pull from another sheet. If you do not know that, sign, exact same deal. We're going to hit equals, jump back over, go to B3, hit enter, drag this all down. Look at that. Very, very simple stuff. Current price, exact same deal, equals, go back over to here, enter, drag it all the way down. Target buy, equals, goes back to watch list, Here's our target buy, hit enter, drag it down, and then sell will be the exact same deal, equals, sell, enter, drag it down. So now we have all of that. Very simple stuff. Now we get over to our next new function that we got to create, which is difference by. Not a hard one. Equals if is blank, A2, so right over here, comma, quotation, quotation, comma. You see how it says false, right? It said false right here because it's not blank. If C2 is greater than D2, then we want that to be blank. So comma, quotation, quotation, comma. If C2, so open parentheses, C2 is greater than or equal to D2, comma, D2 minus C2, comma, quotation, quotation, close, 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 hit enter. There we go. We'll autofill, drag that down. So what did we just write there? Well, this is saying, hey, depending on if our current price is higher or lower than the target buy and target sell, if it's higher than our target buy, so if C3, I'll click on this, if C3 is higher than target buy, obviously we're not going to have a buy difference because we're not in our target buy zone. But if it's lower, which it is at least for square, then we want to find the difference between D3 and C3. And the difference right here is $1.65. So that means we're in the buy zone by $1.65. Okay? And none of these filled because all of them were either hold or sell, not buy. So now we got to go to different sell. And it's going to be pretty similar. It's going to be, we could actually copy a decent amount of this. We could go the if equals blank, A2, if all the way to the C2. We'll copy all of that just to save some time here. And then we'll paste it up here. All right, but C2, and actually don't paste it up there because it doesn't pull. You want to paste it in the cell. Oh, you know what? I was missing the equals. There. So you want color. See how that's yellow and that's red and green? You want to make sure you have color. If you don't, something's wrong, okay? So we're going to do C2 is less than E2. Then we want it to be blank if C2 is greater than or equal to E2, comma, C2 minus E2, comma, quotation, quotation, close, 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 hit enter, hit yes, drag that down, change the color because, I don't know, I made it purple by accident, I want it black, and make that default, and that 10. There we go. So there's our difference by, which is the only one that is at a buy right now, so good. And then here's our difference sell, which is the only one that's at a sell. Good. So before we move on to the message attachment, if you want to just make those dollar signs, this dollar, well, I guess everything dollar signs, you go and do that, or whatever currency you're in. You want to do that over here as well, dollar signs, more dollar signs, and more dollar signs. Go for it. So now that we have all of that, we can move on to our message attachment. It's a little lengthy, but it's not too bad, especially if you watched my other videos. So let's go over here. Let's try to bang this out. So we're going to do equals if is blank. So we could actually probably hit equals and control V. If is blank, good, that's all good, okay? So we're up to C2, and this is all good. So if you don't have this, put that in. Once we're at C2, we want to do less than or equal to D2, comma, concat. So we've learned about concat before. Quotations, parenthesis, quotation, space, quotation, comma. You want that space in there, okay? A2, and, comma, another space, you want that space here after the comma, is below your target by $, quotation, hit the end again, open parenthesis, value, open parenthesis, D2 minus C2, close, hit end, quotation, parenthesis, comma, if, open parenthesis, C2 is greater than or equal to E2, comma, concat again, so CONCAT, open parenthesis, quotation, space, quotation, comma, A2, and, comma, not comma, quotation, space, is above your target sell by $, quotation, and, open parentheses, value, open parentheses, C2 minus E2, close, and, quotation, close that, hit a comma, quotation, close, hit enter, autofill yes, drag this down, and look at that. So you could see what happened here. Let's drag this down so we can see the full function. This is pretty much saying, hey, if A3 is blank, then leave it blank. It's not blank. So now it's saying if C3, so right here, if C3 is less than or equal to D3, which it's not, then we would want this message, A3 target is below your target price by, and then it would subtract the 2 for you. If it's not, if it's instead greater than, then it will do this for the sell. And then if it's nothing, right, if none of that applies, then it just keeps it blank. So that's what happened. It kept it blank for target because it's at a hold. Square's at a buy. So here we go. This is the message it created. SQ is below your target by $1.65. MSFT is above your target by $12.13. So that's our message attachment. So if you want to pause the video, write this down, make sure it's correct. That's our message attachment. And now we're going to move on to email required. So email required, not as hard of a function as that last one. It's going to be equals if J2, so we're getting ahead of ourselves here, equals yes, close quotation, hit comma, no, comma, want to close that quotation, comma, if B2 equals, open quotation, by, close quotation, comma, open quotation again, yes, all capitalized, close quotation, comma, if B2 equals sell, comma, yes, comma, if, make sure to close that quotation for yes, comma, if B2 equals, quotation, comma, quotation, comma, quotation, I know, very repetitive, close, hit enter, there we go. check those off, drag it down. So this is what you should have. If you have the exact same ones as me, I wish I can't even say that because the price may be different when you're watching this video. So these may not be in buys, but just make sure you have one that's in the buy, one that's in the sell. You could have more, but for your buys, this is what you want to see. You want to say buy. You want to have something under buy difference. You want to have a message attachment saying it's below, and you want to have yes for email required. For a sell, what you want is not for the buy difference, but obviously a sell difference. You want it to say is above your target sell, and you also want to have email required yes. And then for the ones that are hold, you don't want any of that. You don't want anything in the buy difference, anything in the sell, anything in the message attachment, or anything in the email. If you don't have what I have, pause the video, rewind the video, figure out what you did wrong, and then get back here because now we're going to move on to our subject and message, and then we're going to go on to the code, which will be the hardest part, and then that's it. So guys, we're in the home stretch. All right guys, so we're going to start with the subject. This one is going to be pretty lengthy, but nothing too bad, especially if you followed my other videos. So drag that down a little bit because we're going to need more than one line. And we're in the FX tab. You could just type it in directly from here, but it's just going to get really long. So I find it easier typing it in this. So just like the rest, we're going to start off with our if is blank. If is blank. And then you just select it right there if you want to autofill. And what we're going to want to do is actually, we're going to want to select right here. So A2, which for me it's target. Close that. We're going to hit comma, quotation, quotation, comma. If, then what we want is B2 equals, and then in quotations, by. So if B2 equals by, comma, concat. So there's concat. Google Finance. So there's Google Finance. And then we're going to want to do A2 again. So you're going to select A2, comma, name, close that, then close that, hit comma, then we're going to do another quotation, and then what we want to do is symbol, and actually we want a space. So make sure there's a space in between the quotation and then this symbol. You guys will see why when we get closer to the end. Then we want to do colon, space, comma, quotation, and we want A2 again, hit end again, and then do another quotation, close that parentheses, hit space, the space is important. Then we're going to type has space, hit space, target space, buy space, price, period, close that. Then we could close that parenthesis, hit the comma, then if, open parentheses, we're going to do B2 again, equals, cell, make sure cell is in quotations, hit that comma. Then we're going to be doing concat again. So there's concat, Google Finance, A2, comma, name, close that. Whoop, don't do another quotation. Then you could close that, hit a comma, do your space, do that quotation, do another space. Then we want symbol, space, quotation, end, A2, end, want another quotation, close that parenthesis, and then we'll do has, hit, target, sell, price. Period, close quotation, close parenthesis, comma, quotation, quotation, close parenthesis, close parenthesis, close parenthesis, hit enter. It says error, and here's my mistake right here. I have one too many parentheses right here, so we delete that. We could delete this one in the back because we don't need that. You only need 3, hit enter. Now it's blank. Blank means it's working because we're at a hold, and let's drop this down to really make sure it's working, and boom, let's expand this. Let's see what we have. So we know Square is at a buy, Microsoft is at a sell for us. So it says right here, Square Inc., symbol SQ, has hit target buy price. Microsoft Corporation, symbol MSFT, has hit target sell price. So our subject's right. That's what's actually going to be in the email. This will be our subject line. So if something's wrong, pause the video, check this out again, guys. Make sure it's all right. Even the colors should match up. Like name should be green. This should be yellow. This should be purple. As long as you have everything in the exact same cells as me. So make sure that all lines up. If you're having problems, again, pause. And if you don't have problems, great. And guys, a reminder, smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's now move on to message. This one's going to be a little bit longer, but then we can move on to the code, which will make these two seem really simple. So here we go. We're going to click up here. Again, we're making sure we're in L2, but then we'll click up here. And what we're going to want to do is equals if B2, equals if, quotation, parenthesis, B2 equals buy, comma, concat, so concat, Google Finance, A2, make sure you don't have that extra parenthesis, that's my problem, I'll hit that by accident, A2, comma, name, close that, comma, you can see it's very similar to the other one, symbol, after this comma, do quotation, then we want this to be symbol, colon, space, quotations, and A2, and, close quotations, close parentheses, is currently at, then we want to hit the $, quotation, and C2, and quotations, space, and has passed your target buy of $, quotations, and D2, and quotation, period, quotation, and H2, close that, do a comma, if, open parenthesis, B2 equals sell, and that's in quotations, comma, concat, so there's concat, Google Finance, there's that, so concat, Google Finance, A2 again. You can see it's very repetitive. You guys probably understand what's going on here. If not, I'll explain it really quick once we finish this. So name, close that, do a comma, quotation, space. Then we want to do symbol, just like the other ones, colon, quotation, and A2, and quotation, close the parentheses, then we want is currently at $, quotation, and C2, and quotation, space, and has passed your target sell of $, quotation, and E2, so E2 and quotation, period, quotation, and H2, close, comma, quotation, quotation, close, close, hit enter. Look at that, autofill. Looks like we got it right. No errors. Make sure to drag this down. All right, and you could expand this. Let's see what we have here. So Square Inc. symbol SQ, and look at that. I don't have a space in here, so we actually go back. You see how ink is touching that? And that's because we forgot our space right here. So we want to make sure that there's a space there if we hit enter. Now there's a space. Square Inc. symbol SQ is currently at $239, has passed your target buy of $245. Square is below your target buy by $6, and then there's Microsoft, and the rest are blank. What are we doing here? We're saying, hey, if we're at a buy, so for Microsoft, which we are, well, I mean, Microsoft, we're at a sell. Square, we're at a buy, okay? So because we are at a buy, it's saying, hey, take the name. You're going to take Square's name, so there's Square Inc., and then you're going to add it to symbol A3. A3 is what Square is right now. So Square, and then it's going to read, is currently at, and then it's saying take C3. So C3 is its price, $239. Has passed your target buy of, and then it's going to pull D3, which is your target buy. And then the last part is it's then going to take your subject. It's then going to take the message attachment that we made before. Square is below your target buy of $6, and it's adding that onto the end. So that's pretty much what the code is. Pretty simple. Now that we have all of that, I mean, we have our watch list now, and we have all of this. We're done with this. We could close this up if we want. We don't need to touch any more of that. If we add another stock in, everything should be added. We could move on to the actual code now. And guys, the code, I really like this code. I think it is a very efficient code. You know when it's a good code, when it's short and simple. It's just super efficient. We're not even going to be writing 15 lines. That's how small it is. So great code. Here we go. It's going to be function send email, open and close parentheses, squiggly bracket, hit enter. And look at that. I already have an error. What did I do wrong? Spelled function wrong. There we go. So if you have like that red squiggly lines, you know something's wrong. So, and function should be blue. So function send email. I'm going to hit enter there. I'm going to back that up. There we go. Var. So what are going to be our variables? SS equals spreadsheet app right there. So we could click on it or hit enter. Dot get active spreadsheet. So right there. Open and close, period, get sheet by name, which is right there. I always like clicking on it so I know I don't have any spelling mistakes. Back end. So this is when it's important that, you know, we have this right here is back end. So we need to make sure this is exactly the same. So that's how it's finding the sheet. Then we want to do semicolon, hit enter, var again, and we want range equals ss dot get range right there. So we could hit enter. And then where are we getting our range? And this is why you need to follow along with the spreadsheet. Everything needs to be in the same place as mine. J2 colon, and bring this all the way down. However many stocks you think you could possibly have on your watch list. If you only are ever going to be watching 10 stocks at a time, then you only need to J11. If you think you're going to be watching 100 stocks at a time, then do 101. So, or you could just continue to go down, right? It could be all the way down to 1,000, 2,000. No reason to watch that many stocks. I'll do 101. Really doesn't matter. But then after that, we're going to do semicolon, hit enter again, and then we're going to have range dot clear, open and close, semicolon, hit enter, var n equals ss dot get last row. So right there, get last row, open and close, semicolon, hit enter. Then we want for space var I equals 2 semicolon I is less than n plus 1, semicolon, I plus plus. Very important function. Make sure that that's right. Make sure you have no spelling mistakes. Make sure these are actually I's. There's 3 I's. There's 1, and then there's a 2. Okay? Now we're going to do squiggly brackets. Hit enter. This will be var email required equals ss dot get range I, comma 9, close that, dot get value, hit enter, open and close, semicolon, hit enter, var subject equals ss dot get range. So right there, this we want to be I, comma 11. Then on the outside, we want to do dot get value. So right there, open, close, quotate, semicolon, hit enter. Now we want to do var message equals ss dot get range I, comma, it's all in the way, 12, there we go, dot get value again, open, close, semicolon, enter again. Now we're going to do if email required, which is right there, email required, equals yes, space, squiggly bracket, hit enter, mail app dot send email, and then right here, this is where you're going to put the email that you want it to send to. So I'm going to do info@thinkstocks.us, and you got to make sure that this is in quotations like that, and it's red, okay? Then we want to do comma, subject, comma, message. So we got subject, message. We could close that. So pretty much that's polling, hey, what's our subject, what's our message, and it's putting it in the email for us. Semicolon, hit enter again. And now this is going to be ss.getRange. Make sure range is capitalized while the R is capitalized in range. I, comma, 10 dot set value, quotation, yes, close quotation, close parenthesis, semicolon, and then guys, you also then want to make sure that this squiggly bracket is actually on this line, right? So not on this one, you actually want on this line. Pause the video, make sure all of this is right before we hit the save button. Not a hard function at all, and actually I'm going to have this all capitalized, YES, YES. So again, very simple function. We're going to hit save, saving project. We could hit run. It's going to run. And then we're going to get our authorization required. So we're going to review permissions because we need to allow this to happen in our email. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. And then this is going to pop up. You're going to have to go to advanced. Okay, go to untitled project. It says unsafe, but it's actually safe. It's you. You are requesting access to yourself. Hit allow. And right here, I actually had an error. You see how I have a parentheses? I didn't mean to have that, so let's get rid of that. Then let's hit run again. Started execution, completed execution. If we go back here, now you can see we have email required says no, email sent says yes. And then if we jump over to my email, here we go. Look at this, Square Inc. and Microsoft Corporation. This is exactly what we have right here. So our subject line, this one, Square Inc., symbol SQ, has hit target buy price. We jump over to email. Square Inc., symbol SQ, has hit target buy price. We jump back. Microsoft Corporation has hit target sell price. We go here. Microsoft Corporation has hit target sell price. We click on this. This is our message that we created. So it's that one and that one, right? So this, whatever we are putting into this is actually what it's pulling. It's then creating this message. And then that's what's going over in our email. Let's just go back to my email really quick just to show you guys that they are still working. I'm going to click on both of these. I'm going to delete them. This was from the original tracker. We'll go back to our project, hit run again. And guys, we're not done. There's one final step that we have to do that's super important. But here we go. Now it's back to normal. Microsoft Corporation is currently at $282. Here's my target sell and what it's above that. And then we go over to Square. Here it is at a target buy right now. All right. So good. We know the email works, but now how are we actually sending it? That's us hitting run. So that's why I got it at 6:12 p.m. But how are we going to send it at 7 a.m. when I want it right before I wake up? Well, we got to go back into triggers. So you could X out of this. And if you go right here to triggers, click on that, go to add trigger. So the function that we have is send email, head, and then what we want is to do time driven. And then we want to do day timer. So you do day timer, and then you could set whenever you want. So for me, I mean, the market opens at 9:30 a.m. So maybe I want the email at 8 a.m. for me, or 7 a.m., between 7 and 8 a.m. Maybe you're in California and you're going to need it earlier. You're going to need it maybe at like 5 or 6 a.m. because you're going to want it before the market opens for you with your time zone. So just make sure that's correct. You set that 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. or whatever time works for you. Then it says, here we go, notify me daily. So you're going to do notify me daily, hit save, and then boom, there's that trigger. So at 8 a.m. in the morning, if we go back here, it will send me the messages. And just to show you guys, I actually went and, because I didn't want to confuse you, here's the messages that I got this morning from the other one, right? So 7:49 a.m. looks like when I get it. So I got from my other sheet this morning, there's NVIDIA, there's PayPal, and then there's Shopify, all at 7:49 a.m. from my original tracker. And again, maybe you're a day trader, so you want it more current. Maybe you want it every hour. Maybe you're someone that likes to just look at it every month, so you don't want it every single day. Instead, you'd want it once a month or once a week timer, minute timer. You have all of these different things. Maybe you're crazy and you want it every minute, right? We could actually do this. So if we do every minute, hit save, and then if we wait here long enough, let's go back to my inbox. I'll delete all of these. So let's delete that. And if we sit here for a minute, we'll actually get those emails again because the trigger will run and then it'll end up popping up. So I'll wait here really quick just so to prove to you that it actually works. Boom, look at that. 6:15 is when they came in, because now every minute I'm going to get if any of these actually have a message in them, it's going to send it. So I'm going to change that so I don't get spammed by myself with emails. Instead of every minute, we're going to do daily tracker, and we will do 7 to 8 a.m. But hey, that's also a good way to test to make sure it actually works, because if you're not getting it, then something's wrong. You got to rewatch the video or drop a comment below and ask questions. But guys, that is it. Again, huge shout out to Torin. I think this tracker is so cool. Such a great way to get notifications. You can have the notifications go right to your phone, which makes it even easier, so you know exactly what to look at and what you're trading. He recommended, which is a smart idea, have it go to an email that like maybe is not your main email. Maybe create a fake email just so when you're testing it out, you're not bombarding your personal email with a whole bunch of different messages. So, I mean, this is my ThinkStocks email, which I really don't check that much. So this worked out perfectly. I didn't want to go into my main email because it would just flood that. But guys, that is it. Again, huge shout out to Torin. Can't thank him enough. You guys like this video, please smash that like button to boost that algo. Comment if you have any questions. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. And guys, as always, I will see you in the next one.